So, all right, Phil. So, we're seeing interest rates go up. We're seeing a little bit of cool down in the market, at least in the residential space. It's all over the news. We got all the headlines that we're about to face a real estate market crash and all that kind of stuff's coming up. Where do we go from here? What are we seeing in the marketplace? What are we seeing from actual investors? What are we seeing from real buyers, real sellers, and what do you kind of see happening over the next 6 to 12 months or so in the multifamily Bakersfield market?
Yeah, I mean that's a fascinating topic. I really relish looking at bits and pieces on a daily basis. So yeah, we're definitely seeing how single family homes big slowdown, right? Because they're homeowners with a much larger home payment, and but on the investment side, whereas the single family homes is inventory doubled in a period of like 2-3 months. Inventory of homes for sale. Uh, we're looking at the multifamily sector just really not moving up that fast in terms of the inventory.
Yeah.
So we're still seeing investor interest. Yeah, obviously it's going to affect mortgage payments for the investor, and that's an operating or that's a cost. But when you look at what's really going on with the rest of property investment is, it's still a tight housing market. They still built far fewer homes and residences than new households were formed.
Yep.
So we have a situation where rents are tight, vacancy factors are super low. I mean, as a matter of fact, the vacancy factor is lower than it was. It was lower this quarter than the past 2 quarters, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that just came out.
1.38%. Yeah.
Yeah, less than 2% vacancy factor. So these are all good things for an investor to look at for the next 6 to 12 months. So yeah, so it'll be interesting to follow.
Yeah,
I mean,
sometimes it seems like maybe it's a little bit harder to find as killer of a deal as maybe 5 years ago or something like that, where you're able to find like these really high rents for still a pretty low sales price. So you're starting to see a little bit of that. But I think when you look at the numbers overall in the Bakersfield multifamily market, it's just set for such a strong growth period still for the next several years, right? With the
yeah,
low vacancy and still we have a lot of development, but it's not enough development to fully meet the demand that's there. And so if you
I
can't get
know.
that many people to buy new homes, they have to live somewhere. And so there's always going to be that strong rental market here. So
I mean, yeah, and you talk to a lot of investors. I mean, what's the sentiment you're actually getting on the phone when you're talking to
yeah,
investors?
I mean, so many buyers still love Bakersfield. I mean, especially California. People that want to buy in California take advantage of the appreciation that comes here too, and the crazy rents. But they look at we get a lot of investors from Ventura, from the coastal areas, stuff like that, and Santa Barbara, and they're
Yeah,
looking anywhere there, and they're just like, this doesn't make any sense. They're getting slapped with so many extra regulations that we don't
yeah,
have here yet in Bakersfield or Kern, which is more conservative, it's more landlord friendly in a very tenant friendly state.
yeah.
And so it's still so many buyers are very strong on Bakersfield
Yeah,
still.
yeah, that's a good point. I think Bakersfield, Kern County, I mean, we're actually one of the low points of the state. So as rents have shot up elsewhere, uh, you know, tenants are looking for an affordable place to live.
Yeah.
They're looking at Central Valley, Bakersfield, and surrounding areas.
Yeah. And they'll drive, a good bit outside of Bakersfield to live in Bakersfield and then work somewhere else.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a lot of that too. It's just a very strong rental market for sure.
And, I've heard things like Ventura County, they just voted in a maximum 4% increase to rents. Santa Barbara, they're trying to get a 2% max on annual rent increase.
Yeah. It's been really difficult.
I don't know how landlords, really can make that work in some of these areas where
Yeah.
Kern County is still, kind of more landlord friendly than, right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you think?
Yeah. And they're
Could we
trying to,
actually say that?
yeah, they're trying to really handcuff people in some of these coastal cities, handcuff these investors so that really you inherit, if you try to buy a property that has really low rents or even tenants that are really destroying the property or something like that, it's so hard for you to do anything with it. Like you almost have to buy it at such a low price to make it still worth it for you. But Bakersfield, yeah, you definitely have a lot more flexibility in being able to, yeah, it leans more landlord friendly for sure in a very, very tenant friendly state.
Yeah.
Just much more conservative, and and they don't come after you as harshly, I feel like, as some of these coastal cities, where if you slip up a little bit, they will just, you know, destroy you to the maximum extent as possible. They'll fine you and they'll do
Yeah.
whatever they can do.